Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Trent, and welcome back to Doki Doki Blue Skies. The last episode, we saw the sort of the sad side of Sayori. Everything seemed to be going partially wrong, and I don't know why there's a code up on the top left. I don't know why that's up. I don't know why this is here. It's already Sunday. Knowing that I'll be spending a day alone with Sayori. Knowing that I'll be spending a day alone with Sayori is kind of weird. Not in a bad way or anything. It's just been a long time since we've had a day out together, just the two of us. Still, I'm looking forward to it. I hope whatever was bugging her on Friday is gone. It was really hard seeing her like that. I shake my head. No, it's a new day today. It will be much better. My mind drifts while I wait for her, subconsciously recall a memory from a long time ago. Remember a circus fair that came to town. It must have been around 11? Managed to win Sayori a giant cuddly cow plushie in one of those shooting minigame things. Well, actually, my dad did. I couldn't aim for my life. That's when I realized that video games don't train you to shoot in real life. Smile at the memory. Does she remember it as well? Buzzing of the doorbell brings me back to the present. Most likely, it's Sayori. Oh, wow. I didn't think we'd see this background. This particular background. I've seen this in a couple other story mods as well. And I like the door and I like the art of this in general. Yep, there she is. She's going for a pretty casual outfit. It's simple, but works really well on her. Hi. Ready to go then? Hey, yeah, sure am. Let's get going. Gently close the door behind me as we step out onto the street. It's a bright, sunny day, not too hot, and there's a gentle breeze. Perfect. So where are we going first then? Well, I made a list of all the stuff we need, so that'll be a big help. Fishing out a small sheet of paper from my pocket. On it, I've written what we need and where we need to get the items from. We need bookmarks, some sweets, ribbon, and some gift bags. To be honest, I have no idea where you can get the gift bags and the ribbon. So I need to go to the Cross store in town, but apparently it's shutting down recently. Oh, really? That's okay. I actually have some gift bags and ribbon at home. Thank God, it's pretty convenient. Should have mentioned it yesterday, though. Sorry, I must have forgot. Nah, it's okay. I'm curious why you have those two things, though. What do you use it for? Oh, I don't use them or anything. They were left over from my birthday party I had years ago. I think it was my 10th one? You remember it, right? She looks at me with puppy dog eyes, and I hasten to try and recall. Something about you getting cake all over your face, right? Hey, you did too. I laugh as I can't claim innocence here. Guilty as charged. Well, with those two items down, we just have to visit the bookstore and the supermarket. Which one are we going to first? Let's start with the bookstore. It's closer. Whatever you say. As we walk in, Sayori humming contentedly. A slight skip in her step. Forget how adorable she could be. Always so cheery. It's like she lives in her own little world. She looks like she's back to normal again. To say I'm relieved to be an understatement. Almost like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Hey, Sayori. Look, you were in like a much better mood today. Of course. I said I'd be fine today, remember? So here I am. It's a relief to see you back in your normal self. You really had me worried on Friday. No need to worry about me, silly. How have you been anyway? Good, good. I never thought I'd be writing poems in my free time, but hey. It's a real change of pace from what I'm used to, but I'm not complaining. Sayori giggles. What? Oh, nothing. I just didn't see you as the poetic type, that's all. Those video games, I guess. I really got into them over the past 2 years. I shift uncomfortably. I feel like it's a reference to us drifting. After all, she's not wrong. As I became more recluse, so I turned to gaming as an escape. Truth be told, I didn't really think I was a poet either. I didn't realize how much I enjoy literature. I shrugged off the comment about gaming. I want to enjoy today, after all. I mean, Yuri showed me this really cool book. Maybe not cool, but it was pretty interesting. Something about a girl who escapes from this weird human experimentation prison and all sorts of horrible stuff happens to her. Sayori pouts, looking very disapproving. Oh, I don't like the sound of that at all. That's really scary. It's living in a world where horrible stuff like that happened to me. Looks like your wonderful innocence never went anywhere. Hey, anything bad to happen to you too, Sayori. I never let anything happen. I think that's what it said anyway. I'd never let it happen. I was close. You're so sweet, Ryan. You know that? I used to be protective of Sarah when we were kids. Guess not much has changed, even after so much time apart. I didn't even realize we made it to the bookstore already. As it turns out, the bookstore is actually in a library. It's pretty small, but after glancing around, it seems to have what we need. Alright, here they are. Let's see what they have. Alright, here we are. What they have. We could be only for a rack of shells carrying a nice array of bookmarks that includes all different colors and sizes. Sayori wonders over, her eyes wide at all the choices. Ooh, so many to choose from. Now, who would have guessed there's such a demand for bookmarks of all things? This blue one is really nice. Look over slightly weirdly, forgot about how excitable she could be. Starting with a blue koala. Who makes a bookmark with a blue koala? Sayori seems to love it though. Before I even get to say anything, she starts gushing over another bookmark. Look at this red one. It's got a little ribbon shape on it, just like mine. At least this one is a bit more justifiable. Look at these. They've got little puns on them. Sure enough, there's a little row of bookmarks bearing a picture of objects with puns related to them. An apple with the quote, "You're the apple of my eye." A cute smile cartoon bacon with the words, "I like you more than bacon." Okay, that one kind of made me laugh. I'll admit, I like the bacon one. The apple one's too cheesy, though. Face is all scrunched up, trying to decide which bookmarks to get. Right, better off just getting these plain ones, Sayori. These are just for strangers coming to view our performances. No point in get these cutesy punny ones. Aww. How fun. Hey, I'll get you the donut one, though. The donut one has a smiley donut with the words, "Donut, you know how amazing you are?" Oh, really? Thank you. I love it. So hard to make Sayori smile. In the end, we went for a pack of plain colored bookmarks. They get the job done, right? They get the job done, right? I think Sarah forgets that not everyone is into the stuff she's into. Now the bookmarks are out of the way, we wander over to the supermarket. So we just need the sweets, right? Dave Farrow does spend hours trying to choose some, okay? I know what you're like with candy. Hey! It's not my fault I've got a sweet tooth. Oh, whose fault is that then? She sticks a tongue out at me. As directed, Sayori is beyond excited. Like a real kid in a candy store. Well, she's technically not in a candy store, but saying it doesn't really sound as good when it's a supermarket, does it? Ah, there's Ryan. Ryan, there aren't any cookies here. I decided to humor her. Oh no, seriously? That's heartbreaking. I know, how can they call us to the supermarket and they don't have any cookies? It's crazy, yeah. Anyway, we still have a lot to do when we get home, so let's make some choices now, shall we? Okay. Perhaps actually pondering which candy would be the best to buy. Hey, sorry, what's your favorite flavor of licorice? Strawberry, why? Oh, no reason, just wondering. Whatever licorice it is, I'm going to keep this as a surprise for her. Although doing these little thoughtful things for her makes me pause. Zuri told me I always used to look out for her back when we still hung out. Did I really stop doing all that? I find it kind of hard to believe, given how natural I find looking out for her to be. I think these will be okay, don't you think? She points into her bag, which is filled with an assortment of chocolates and other sweets. There's milk chocolate in here, toffee, chocolates, peppermints, all sorts of stuff. People are going to love it. They sure will. I'll just get some of my own candy, then we'll get a move on. Okay. Still got a lot to do, don't forget. Like I say, Sayori got the chocolate side of things handled, so I decided to go for the fruity sweets. Alright, I think that'll do. Oh, time to leave already? Would you do me a teeny tiny favor? Let me guess, buy you some cinnamon buns? How did you know? Whenever our parents would go shopping together, you always used to ask your mom for the exact same thing. She buzzes a little, turning away. Guess some things never change, right? So back there, it's the little things, Sarah, that really warm my heart. I'm definitely not complaining. Hands over the candy, we head to the register to pay. The cashier gives us a stern look, almost like he's disapproving of all the sugar we're carrying. Sarah is totally oblivious, probably too busy thinking about which candy she can get away with eating. Oh, so cute. Okay, so that's everything. Let's head home and get started with the quotes. Okay, although I need to grab the goodie bags and ribbon from my place. You should head home and get your computer up and running while I do that. That way, by the time I'm back at yours, you'll be good to go. Shirley has a knack for showing initiative when I least expect it. Her idea is pretty smart, though, so I roll with it. Great thinking. Here, hand me the bookmarks so I can take them home. I'll see you in a bit. Just give me a buzz when you're outside. Sure thing. Make my way upstairs and put up my computer, tossing the bookmarks onto the desk. When the machine wears life, I sit back idly thinking about the literature. There's probably some really dope... I'm about to say dope. That's just deep, you dumbass. There's probably some really deep quotes out there. I left sobbing to myself, imagining how someone like Yuri would resonate with those wise words. Should probably appreciate the quotes the most. For the second time today, the sound of the doorbell jolts me back into reality. Once again, Siri was clutching a large sack filled with a colorful assortment of gift bags. Like she's just literally carrying a rainbow. Hi again. So here they are. Lead her upstairs as she carries on being enthralled by all the colors. Man, you really couldn't decide on a color, could you? There are so many pretty ones to choose between. I figured you could help me choose, so I brought them all. Ooh, should we go for the blue or these pink ones? But these green ones are really pretty too. Siri, how many do we need? This one has little cinnamon decorations on it. Siri! Sorry. How many do we need? Good question. About 15 will do, right? Just be on the safe side? Fills out some ribbon from the sack. I like the gift bags. These are all one color. A very deep red. Yeah, I can't see anything wrong with that. Want to help me with the quotes? Sure. What about this one? Writing is its own reward. I mean, don't you feel good when you finish one of your poems? Or don't you feel excited to show what you've written to people? Kinda, I guess. I think Gary really liked that one, though. Let's use that one. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. What about this one? There are 3 rules for writing a novel. Unfortunately, no one knows what they are. I don't get it. Neither do I, to be honest. But I like the humor. It strikes me as something people might find funny. I don't know. I think it's something Monica or Yuri might find amusing. I'll trust your judgment. I like this one a lot. There's no real ending. It's just a place where you stop the story. It actually reminds me of a thought I had about poetry. Oh? Yeah, to me, a poem is never actually finished. It just stops moving. That's kind of profound. Something I'd expect from Yuri. So, what does it actually mean? Can't you see? It means just because the poet has stopped writing doesn't mean the poem is over. Well, if you say so, Sayori. I think a lot of people appreciate this one. What did you think? There's something quite delicious about writing the first word of a story. You never quite know where they'll take you. I think so, too. That one's so... makes you feel a sense of wonder, doesn't it? Exactly the kind of feeling a good story should make you feel. Oh, I sound like Yuri, don't I? A little bit. She's rubbing off on you, huh? Does that mean I'll start sounding intelligent? Zeri chuckles, her eyes full of mirth. Her laughter is so innocent and sweet. Sweet. I have a lisp all of a sudden. Fuck. I'm not making fun of people to lisp. I have people who have it, and I envy the people who have speech impediments and stuff like that. So, people who can live with those kind of issues and not have it be a problem is very, not to say touching, but very, makes me feel like I'm not in the worst state, I guess. You already do. Oh, so that's a scene count at the top left. Okay. Oh, come on, Sayori. That's not true. My poems aren't anywhere near as good as yours. Mine aren't anything special. Don't be silly, but I'm sure you'll be a great poet in no time. Oh, well, I'll believe it when I see it, I guess. Anyway, let's get these printed and start putting together the goodie bags. Okie dokie. After finding a few more quotes, we get to work. We have all the items ready to go. Now it's just a case of putting a bookmark, quote, and candy in each bag. Then tying it all up with a piece of ribbon. We get to work, a comfortable silence descending upon the room. As for yesterday, I realized how happy I've been all day. It's not anything fancy, just going to town with Sayori, but even that has put me in good spirits. Spending time with someone, joking around, reflecting on all their memories. This thing has been miles better than how my weekends typically go. Boring, filled with aimless gaming and anime. I've missed this. I've missed this a lot. I really have. Most of all, I miss Sayori. Today has taught me that I'm determined to spend more time with her. After all, I think she enjoyed it too. There's a lot to catch up on. Suppose we'll have plenty to say and do over the upcoming weeks and months. You've been pretty quiet, Ryan. You okay? And there it is. Defining trait of hers. Always being concerned about others' well-being. I'm lucky to have someone like her in my life. I need to double check something. I'm going to open up my file manager to make sure I have these named. I don't think I've named them, so I have to kind of wing it. Yeah, I don't have them named. Oof. Give me a moment. Let me pause the recording real quick and I'll fix this and I'll be back momentarily. Alright, that's all sorted out. I wanted to make sure that the episodes were labeled properly in my files. Because I tend to try and name everything, but I didn't with these, so I was a little nervous. And there it is. I read that. I already read that. What? Oh, I'm fine. Yeah, sorry. Just been doing a lot of thinking. About what, if I can ask? Just about today. Really enjoyed it. Hanging out with you again. It's been a while, hasn't it? I'm glad you enjoyed it, because I was going to say that I did too. I haven't had this much fun in a while. Hearing that lifts my spirits even further. Something I didn't know was possible. You know, I'm genuinely happy to hear that. I haven't really told anyone, but Sari looks at me, her blue eyes swimming with concern. Just be told, I've been kind of lonely. Ever since my parents' divorce, I really haven't had much contact with people. Spending time with you today, it's been refreshing. A really nice change of pace, you know? Change of spending the weekend by myself playing games. Oh, I'm so sorry. I had no idea you felt this way. You should have told me earlier that you were lonely. I hate that I couldn't help you before. No, it's okay, seriously. It's not your fault or anything. I've just been really reclusive myself. And I've really enjoyed the literature club so far. Just being able to spend time with people my age again, discover a new hobby, appreciate it more than I can describe. You've all been super welcoming. I know I'm no poet or anything, but that didn't bother any of you. Well, I'm glad you feel included at the club. That's exactly what we want the club to be. Welcoming. I'm going to make sure you're never lonely again, okay? Gotta put a smile on your face. You hear me? Can't have you being sad. Starting with this. She reaches toward me and starts tickling me, her hands ghosting over my neck and chest. I recoil it instinctively, laughing like a small child. Hey, stop that. You know I'm ticklish. My laughter must be a callous for her tickling, because as she hears this, she doubles her efforts, a childlike grin on her face. I'm squirming, howling with laughter, almost running out of breath. Please stop saying hurry. I can't breathe. Just give me a second. She pauses, give me a chance to catch my breath. Good, she's fallen for my decoy. I dart forward, pulling her arms away from me and driving her towards the bed, pinning her beneath me. It's time to enact some revenge. What? What? No, you tricked me. Ah! No fair. Poor little Sayori, bamboozled by the mastermind. Please have mercy. What was that? Sorry, I didn't catch that. You have to speak up. Custom art. Custom art. Look at that. Look at it. Custom art. I playfully find deafness as I carry on tickling her. Her laughter is like music to my ears. She's squirming under my fingertips, crying with mirth. To see such a big smile on her face, even if it's kind of involuntary, such a nice sight to see. Her laugh has such an innocent, joyful ring to it. Hearing me transports me back 10 years. Back when I had that carefree level of innocence only childhood could have. Please, seriously, I can't breathe. She sounds like she's quite short of breath. I've been tickling her for a while. I think I've had my revenge. So when I stopped tickling her, that I realized the situation we're in. I'm sitting on top of her, pinning her down with my legs. One of my hands rests on her neck, where her neck meets her shoulder, and the other one is wrapped around her wrist. As laughter from both of us subsides, a new atmosphere takes its place. It's not exactly awkward, but it's unusual, and neither of us know how to react. I made Sirius gain and find something in her eyes. What exactly is it? I wish I could read the expression, but the novelty of this situation makes me so unnerved. Unnerved? Unsure. Expectant? Is that the word I was looking for? I don't know. So I'm looking in. This probably looks like it wouldn't look as innocent as we think it does. Yup! Yup! I hasten to climb off her as she responds by sitting up on the bed. The completed goodie bags all but forgotten. Sorry, No, it's okay. Just wanted a quick look here. It just isn't me who sensed something in the atmosphere. The atmosphere is becoming more and more awkward by the moment. What exactly happened? Anyway, I'm glad we managed to get the goodie bags finished. Oh yeah, me too. They were a lot of fake. I just hope the other students like them. I'm glad she's able to roll with the change of topic. Just like that, some of the awkward air is dispelled. Monica will be pleased too. A lot of effort went into these. I know she'll appreciate what we've done. I think Gary will love the quotes too. Some of those really reminded me of her. Not just me who thought that then. How are you feeling about the actual recital though? I mean, I probably seemed pretty enthusiastic when Monica asked us. But you're kind of nervous now? Yeah, I guess it'll be okay though. I mean, I have my poem, and I sort of know how I want it to go, so I think a little more practice and I'll be fine. And it'll be fine. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Let's not think about that. What about you? Aren't you nervous? Truthfully, yeah. I'll have Monica's confidence, sadly. But hey, I really like the club, and this is my chance to give something back to it, right? Yeah, that's a great attitude to have. Besides, I have an excuse to be bad. I'm new and nowhere near as experienced as you guys. So that's my justification if my performance isn't that great. All you have to do is practice, okay? Your performance will be just as good as ours, I know it. Let's have someone believe in me, I guess. Thank you, Sayori. No problem. I should get going, though. I need to practice my poem and stuff. Yeah, that reminds me, I should probably do the same. Do you want to take the goodie bags? Sure. Okay, I'll put them in a sack for you. 1 second. Remember around finding a bag big enough for all the smaller ones. And the big one over to Sayori, we both head downstairs. As she hovers by the doorway, she turns around to face me. There's a shyness on her face. Oh, by the way, yeah? Thanks for today. I haven't had this much fun in a long time. Hey, that's alright. I really enjoyed myself too. We should make this a more regular thing. Her face lights up. Yeah, I like the sound of that. I'll see you tomorrow for the festival, okay? That you will. See you tomorrow, Sayori. As she waves and walks off, bag in hand, it takes a few moments to identify what it is I'm feeling inside. Happiness. Something as simple as going to town and making goodie bags to Sayori made me feel very warm inside. How has it taken me this long to realize? The day of the festival. Preparations for the event should be nearly complete, given all the work everyone's put in over the weekend. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Isuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Sayori at the festival. But knowing Monica, I'm sure the event will be great too. It's been a while though. Where's Sayori? We're meant to walk together, but she's late again. I don't want to leave her behind, but if she takes much longer, I'm going to be late for school. More time passes. It's going to be a moment of decision soon if she doesn't arrive. Just as I'm getting her ready to leave, I finally spot her slowly making her way down the street. She's carrying a large sack in her hands, and I'm surprised she isn't running over to me. Isn't she aware of how late she is? Sayori, where have you been? We could have been late for school. I know, I'm sorry. I, overslept again? Or couldn't decide what to have for breakfast again. She immediately pouts. You're such a meanie sometimes. You know my teasing is all in good fun, right? She mumbles something under her breath. Of course. By the way, I also double-checked the little bags. They're all in here. She gestured to the largest sack. She gestured to the large sack, a bright smile evident on her face. Good stuff. People are going to love them. That was a really good idea. Candy, bookmarks, and literature quotes. Perfect things to give out for our event. Uh-huh. Something for everyone. Although I'm kind of nervous for the festival. Honestly, I don't blame you for that. It's kind of nerve-wracking, isn't it? I mean, I know how much it means to Monica, but at the same time, I didn't really realize how intimidating reciting poetry to a bunch of strangers can be. Yeah, I was all for it back in the clubroom, but now the actual day is here. She looks a little nervous. I reach over and give her a squeeze on the shoulder. We'll be fine. Don't worry. I know how much you like poetry, plus your poems are great. I just hope my own performance is up to standard. Oh, don't be silly. They'll love your poem. I just know it. I chuckle, admiring the definitive optimism that really makes Sayori, well, Sayori. Guess we'll find out. By the way, are you doing anything after the festival? Anything fun? Nope. I haven't really had anything planned that far ahead. I'm not great at doing that. I'm kind of hoping we finish early so we can have the rest of the day off, to be honest. So what, you're really saying that you just want to go home and sleep, right? Oh. Look how many students... Oh, whoops. Nuts, I dropped the mouse. Don't close the game on accident, please. Oh, look how many students there are. How many clubs are having their own little event today? That was a tactical change of topic, that was. Our school is in sight, and there's a lot of students milling around. It's a little strange to think that there's so many fellow students around. Yet I've been feeling so lonely. Or at least before during the literature club. Times like these make me feel grateful that Sayori told me about it, the club. Times like these make me grateful that Sayori told me about it. That's a grammatical error. Okay. Told me about the club in the first place. I don't know. Probably quite a few. By the way, Sayori. What's up? Just wanted to say, no matter how well this festival goes, I'm really grateful you told me about your club and let me join. Had a lot of fun so far. I scratched the back of my head nervously as Sayori looked curiously at me. I've never been good at expressing myself, and it probably shows. I guess what I'm trying to say is, thank you. It's been so fun being able to spend time with you again, too. It really takes me back. You don't have to thank me for anything, silly. I've enjoyed it, too. After all, it would be lovely if things go back to how they used to. How they used to? What do you mean? Oh, nothing. Strange choice of words. What could you mean by this? As we enter the courtyard and make our way to the meeting room, she breaks the silence by giggling. Something funny? I just thought of a way to steal one of Natsuki's cupcakes without realizing. You sure that's a good idea? Natsuki might be little, but you know better than I do that she'd be really fiery. Oh, don't worry. She might seem a bit mean on the outside, but she's harmless. Don't let her fool you. I'd rather her than me. I'm vibing! Festival, I assume it's called? The fact that there's 3 there makes me a little nervous. Ryan, Sayori, it's good to see you guys. You want to come and give me a hand? Monika's placing little booklets in each of the desks in the classroom. Mostly the one she prepared that has all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monika would like and submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing. Hey, do you guys want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, they really did. They look really pretty. Something like this would definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought so too. I flip through the pages. Oh god, I love this music! Each artist's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. Recognize the girls' poems from the ones they performed during our practice. Just then, Natsuki bursts in the room carrying a box that positively towers over her. Yuri trails behind her carrying a rolled-up banner and a large duffel bag. Alright, it's festival time. Oh, you guys got here before me? I thought I was pretty early. I'm sorry for being the last one here. I'm glad some preparation is already underway, though. It should take less time to set everything up this way. Yeah, let's work hard together. Natsuki unpacks her box to reveal 4 trays of cupcakes stacked carefully on top of each other. Ryan! Jump with the sudden outburst. Yes? Help me lay out these cupcakes. Then if you wouldn't mind, Sarah, can you help me with these? Yuri gestured her back, which Sayori nods cheerfully. I've been sticking with the cupcakes while Yuri and Sayori start putting up decorations. Meanwhile, Monika continues putting down pamphlets. This is long before Natsuki carefully arranged the cupcakes in a neat formation. Each cupcake is topped with different white icing and some kanji written in a variety of different colored frostings. I gotta look up that word because I'm an ignorant American and it's probably a Japanese term. Kanji. Kanji symbols. Yeah, it's just Japanese writing. Kanji is a system of symbols that represent words or ideas that can have different meanings or pronunciation depending on their context. Kanji can be a word all by itself, or a kanji can be part of another word, and then it has the actual Japanese characters. Okay, so yeah, it's essentially just Japanese lettering. Just so I don't sound too ignorant. I assume that's what they were, I assume they're little symbols, little Japanese letters. Well, these look really good. Great idea to make them literature club themed as well. Yeah, it was a good idea, huh? I wrote down words that specifically have to do with poetry in our poems, too. Here's some cupcake to show me. See, this one says create. And it's not the kanji for use? Eh? Tsuki Fierce checks over the rest of her copies to look for a more miswritten character. I glance over at Sayori and Yuri. They put up a banner with an inspirational quote written on the colorful gradient of colors in the sky. The good writer possesses not only his own spirit, but also the spirit of his friends. That's a good quote by the German philosopher Friedrich... I'm sorry? Friedrich Nietzsche. He's had some very interesting thoughts, although there are some that I don't quite agree with. Oh, I think I've heard of him. It's usually Yuri classing with their intellect. It seems that they've also hung up a curtain of origami paper tied to ribbons in the doorway. While closer inspection, each paper has a different kanji character written on it. It looks like he did something similar to Tsuki with their kanji curtain. Is that so? I'll take a look what she's done after I finish setting up. Gesture a few candles at a wooden cylinder-shaped object. Yuri said that's an essential oils diffuser. Yes, it's for aromatherapy, one of my favorite contributors to a positive atmosphere. Huh, I'm excited to see how it works later. Looks like all the preparations are almost finished now. I feel like there's something missing, though. Something I noticed a large bag taken forlornly by itself to the side. Sorry, do you mind handing me that sack you've got? I'll help you distribute all the stuff inside. Okay, here you go. Turning inside, I catch a sight of quite a few small colourful bags, neatly tied shut with ribbons. Ah, just remember, handiwork from yesterday really shows. I pull one out. Here, Monica noticed the little bags, looking on with interest. Ah, so you two are... So this is this what you and Ryan have been working over the weekend? Sayori, I love how these look. You both did a fantastic job. Oh, it's mostly Sayori. I couldn't do the ribbon part of my life depended on it. I'm sure the contents are just as impressive as the exterior. What sort of things do you choose for the quotes? We had a lot of fun with that. Jellicoe opened one of the little bags, fishing out a quote. Perfectly okay to write garbage, as long as you edited it brilliantly. Wait, I didn't put this one in. Oh, yeah, that one was mine. I thought it was kind of funny. Monica giggles, whereas Yuri and Sayori look like they're trying to figure out what punchline is. Well, 1 out of 3 isn't so bad. How about this one? Nice to open another bag, picking out the quote. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets fixated on a specific point. Just force yourself to get something out on paper and tidy it up later. Are you kidding? That's a... If you don't get the reference or the joke there isn't necessarily a joke. That's one of Monica's tips of the day in the original game. That's... Oh, Montez, you're sneaky. Don't think I didn't see that. I like that one a lot. After all, it's pretty much true. If you never start, you can't make any progress. Of course you fucking say that, you fourth wall breaking bitch. Keeping your pen in the same spot would just result in a big puddle of ink. Oh, god damn it. We couldn't find out who said that, which is a shame. Ooh, have you guys tried the candy? Do you think we should say those are the people we made these back for, Sayori? Oh, yeah. Suki's irritated voice rings out from across the classroom. Hey, if you guys are finished over there, can you actually sort Sayori's stuff out? You know, we do have a festival to prepare for. She huffs and the rest of us share a guilty grin. Natsuki's right. I suppose Natsuki raises a valid point. Yeah, let's get to it then. We each delve into a sack and scoop up the little bags. Going around the classroom, setting them down on each desk. We printed out a few spare quotes to put around the classroom, and it's not long before a few desks bear the wise words of writers and poets alike. Sayori wanders over to the front door and sticks one of the quotes there. I'm impressed by her thinking. Everyone will see the quote that way. It doesn't take long to distribute all the little bags around the room. Out of the corner of my eye, I spot Sayori trying to sneakily open a bag and pop a candy into her mouth. Now she drops the chocolate, some things never change. Whoa! That's so cool! I gotta give the devs props. This is really well done! By the time we finish, it looks like everyone else is done too. Classrooms have darkened and lit up by the ambient lighting of the candles. Delicate floral scent waves through the air, curious of Yuri's essential oils. Yuri and I head towards the other 3 girls, huddled near the front of the class and murmuring to each other. Is it about time to start yet? Almost. We wrote that we were going to start at 10 a.m. on our posters, and that's in 10 minutes. Are people actually going to show up for this? Don't be so negative. Some people have shown up already, and I'm sure that more will file in soon. You guys don't have to be worrying so much about it. I've got full faith in all of you. I've seen all of your poems. It's been amazing watching each and every one of you find and nurture your unique writing styles. Your smiles encouragingly at each of us. I like how they even darken the sprites up a bit. Because, like, obviously it's dark, so they wouldn't want to show the sprites at full lighting. I like that. It's a nice touch. To her credit, her words are helpful, even though I haven't been part of this club for as long as the other three. Even Ryan? Natsuki! It was just a joke. Geez, thought some humor would lighten the mood. Sorry. Just trying to make sure everyone's in the best frame of mind before we start. It's okay, Monica. We all understand and appreciate that. Wow, Yuri is... I'm going to say this. Yuri's hair looks very hard to make out. It's actually, I like the darker... I kind of want these sprites... personally. I'm going to take a quick screenshot. I'm going to cut these out later. We do... No. Let me try this again. Hit the mouse off screen to a degree. Because I can just crop the picture. I know it isn't the greatest of sprites, and it's not their happy sprites, but... There we go. Print screen. Nice little screenshot. It's okay, Monica. We all understand and appreciate that. Yeah, we know how much this club means to you. I want it to be a success just as much as you do. Couldn't put it better myself. Even though I've only been in the club for a few days. I felt really at home. Truth be told, I used to be kind of lonely. Knowing them including something with people like you guys always makes me feel better. Apart from Sayori on Sunday, I haven't told anyone about how low we've been feeling. I'm a little nervous about how the others will react. They all turn to me, varying degrees of emotion on their faces. Tatsuki impressively looks to the side, and passively looks to the side, while Yuri gives me an impression of concern. Sayori looks a little sad, remembering our conversation about this. It's okay. We can change that, remember? Like I said, I'm so happy that you feel welcome here. It's exactly what we wanted. I agree, no one should feel alone. I know it's quite a difficult thing to experience. I feel a warm flush of gratitude at their words. Thanks, guys. That means a lot. Also, Monica, I told Sayori this earlier, and I figured you might appreciate hearing this. No matter how the festival goes, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you. Thanks to you guys that lonely feeling has disappeared. You've all been so welcoming, accepting, and believe me. I'm really appreciative of that. So even if this event doesn't quite go as planned, just know that I really love it here, and I'm glad Sayori told me about this club. If others don't like what we have here, well, it's their loss, right? Girls not in agreement, smiling at me. I had no idea my words would have such an impact, but I'm glad they did in the end. Let's do this print screen again, because this is all their happy sprites, and I like it. It feels so rewarding to be able to give back to the club for a change. Monica turns to me, eyes shining with appreciation. Thank you. You're right. Hearing those words from a newcomer really makes me feel like I've succeeded in my goals as president. After all, I wanted to create a place where people can feel comfortable and share literature, and what you've just said makes me feel like it was all worth it. He turns to face the others. See, guys? If we can show Ryan how amazing this is, who is to say we can't show the other students the same thing? Don't see them as strangers, see them as potential club members. He's definitely got an inspiring way with words. Yeah, good thinking, Monica. What's the worst that could happen? Sorry, I'm giving you guys opportunities to take screenshots too. But yeah, if they say anything bad about my cupcakes, I'm gonna kill them. Yuri giggles softly. I won't lie to you. I'm still quite nervous, but after hearing what you said, I realize there might be some other lonely people out there. This club would be the perfect place for them. Yeah, we might even find more manga enthusiasts. That's a spirit. Now let's go and show the rest of the school just what the literature club is made of. It's probably been 10 minutes now. As one cue, a few people wandered in the room, curiously looking around the room. Monica calmly walks over and greets them. And so it begins. Monica and Sayori have greeted the newcomers and settled them in desks around the classroom. People are already helping themselves to cupcakes, and I noticed Natsuki keeping an eye on them. Meanwhile, Yuri is nervously looking through a pamphlet. I can see her silently mouthing the words to her poem. I think about it. I should be getting some extra practice in as well. Before I can do so, though, Monica heads back towards us with Sayori in tow. Showtime, everyone! Let's do this, guys! Time to get this over with. I can do this. We group up and stand together at the front of the classroom. Monica steps up the podium and clears her throat, drawing the room's attention to her. Okay, everyone. Welcome to the Literature Club's poetry performance. My name is Monica, as some of you may know. Some girls sitting near the front of the classroom wave at her. And I'm the president of the club. Accompanying me is the vice president, Sayori. Hi, guys. The rest of our club members, Yuri, Natsuki, and last, but certainly not least, Ryan. Or, that's me! No, it isn't. That's old me. I hate that I had to do that, but I did it anyway. We all wait back at the students with varying degrees of enthusiasm. I hope that you all enjoy our poetry, and that we'll be able to help contribute to a memorable festival. It's just amazing its ability to connect us to the human condition, and we really hope that this event will help encourage others to start participating as well. Our club will gladly welcome any new members, from those who love words and writing to anyone who's simply just curious and wants to learn more. After total performances, we'll be opening up the stage for anyone else who wants to perform, so don't be shy. And now, without further ado, I'll be starting with my poem, The Way They Fly. I hope they're not actually going to go through the entire poem, because I'm not reading them. Zori, Natsuki, and Yuri and I head off to settle down in the frontmost desk, saving the seat at the end for Monica. She stands there, alone, yet still radiating confidence. After flashing a smile and a wink at us, she begins. Each word is crystal clear and exudes emotion. Somehow her recitation is even better than it was only a few days ago. She must have practiced hard to try and achieve perfection. The classroom is silent at first, drinking in her words. After a few moments, however, some whispering starts up at the back of the classroom. I guess it's inevitable, but it still doesn't make it any less annoying. I exchange a look with Natsuki, who rolls her eyes at the disruptions. Zori pats my hand, and you can see an encouraging smile. She's comforting as always. As Monica's poem progresses, more and more people wander in. Normally this would be a good thing, but they're making a lot of noise. Thankfully, they simmer down once they realize Monica's speaking, but the damage has already been done. She reaches the end of her poem, and the last few words resonate in the classroom. A round of applause fills the room. Monica beams everyone, patiently waiting for them to finish. Thank you for listening, everyone. I hope you enjoyed my poem, and that it gave you a flavor of what the club is like. For the newcomers, welcome. We're just in the midst of showing you all of our poems. For the benefit of those who have just joined, she quickly reintroduced everyone. Anyway, up next is Natsuki. Take it away. God. I'm not in the situation, and I'm getting that, sort of, itchy feeling, oh god, they've walked in, I'm supposed to do that. It's God, I'm getting that nerves. It's making my anxiety flare up a little bit. I know it's not me, but it's ugh. Natsuki stumbles slightly as she makes her way to the front of the class. I guess nerves are really getting to her. It doesn't help that someone's... I can't say that without sounding... It doesn't help that someone giggles. I can't say that. Because if I say it, I'm going to sound racist, and I don't want to say it. Causing her to turn and glare at them. Zari seems to notice too, as she hastens to shoot Natsuki a reassuring smile. Natsuki stands in the front of the classroom with her poem in hand. Slight traces of irritation still visible on her face. Anyway, so my poem is called Jump. She takes a deep breath and begins her recital. As I was hoping, she was able to inject her trademark bouncy style into the performance, bringing the words to life. It doesn't quite radiate the confidence Monica did, but her unique style shines through, giving the poem flow and rhythm. While simple, it's effective. I don't know why my mouse is loading. My heart sings, I start picking up on the newcomers having their own conversation in the back of the room. I feel with a surge of anger. How can they be so inconsiderate? It's good that they aren't paying any attention, and from the pause and change in Natsuki's tone, she's clearly picked up on it as well. Why can't they just save their super selfish conversation for after our performances? Problem comes in, but unlike with Monica's, there's a slight awkward moment of silence. Once again, there's a round of applause, but it's clear to me that the audience engagement isn't quite as strong. The music stopped. Great performance, Natsuki. I really like the rhythm of that last poem. Natsuki forces a smile and makes her way back to her seat. It's clear that she's upset. Anyway, our Vice President Sayori is next to perform. Hi everyone. I really hope you like my poem. She cheerily skips up to the front, poem in hand. She turns to face us. She looks a little nervous, fidgeting slightly. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. It's okay, Sayori. Just remember what we practiced. I've got full faith in you. Yeah, you've got this. This one's called My Meadow. She begins her poem. I want to pause. Yep, they did change it. Notice how like the pitch or the speed of it goes down a little bit? Oh dear. The other poem, her soft voice guides us through the recital, and there's a remarkable contrast between her cheerful inflection and the more bittersweet nature of her words. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice people casually flicking cupcake wrappers on the floor along with candy wrappers lying on the tables. Worse still, the talking is getting louder and more noticeable. Mono looks around the perpetrators, frowning at them. One of the students lets out the loud yawn, making absolutely no effort to hide it. Another student picks up one of the quotes and nudges their friend. They both frown and laugh at the message, and I get the horrible feeling it's the more mocking kind of laugh. At this point, I'm seeing red. If I weren't in school, I would have punched these inconsiderate pricks by now. No one should be this rude to Sayori. She's probably the sweetest person I've ever met. Despite the now obvious disruption, she's still trying her best and making a real effort to continue. To her credit, her performance is still commendable. She manages to work the contrast of her enunciation against the words in her favor. It adds an interesting depth to the poem. I'd love to see more of this side to her. She brings the performance to a close, hands shaking slightly. Lovely poem, Sayori. You really brought that one to life. Thank you. Something's off with her voice. It's like how she was on Friday. Monica stands up, turning to address everyone in the room. Just a polite reminder that it would be much appreciated if everyone could give our poet some respect while they're performing. Monica looks stern while Natsuki looks positively furious. Thank you. Now the stage is all yours, Yuri. Oh god, poor Yuri. Yuri's looking terrified at this point. Yuri gives her a reassuring squeeze and I lean over, whispering into her ear. You've got this, Yuri. I pretend like it's only me, Natsuki, Sayori, and Monica. I can't do this. Yes, you can. I believe in you. I've seen how passionate you can become when you talk about Portrait of Markov. I love that. I love seeing that side of you. Besides, like you said, this club will be the perfect place for any of these people. We just don't know it yet. She swallows nervously, nodding at my words. Okay, thank you. She rises to her feet, palm clasped firmly to her chest, and avoiding eye contact with everyone as she walks up. Her eyes flick up to glance at the classroom when she gets on stage. But she quickly ducks her head back down to look at the poem on the podium. This poem is titled Afterimage of a Crimson Eye. Her voice quivers as she starts, but unlike her recitation a few days ago, the meek, trembling version of Yuri remains well into the poem. She determinedly forges ahead, but I can tell she's not enjoying it in the slightest. The rest of the class, momentarily subdued by Monica's work, soon begins to grow louder again. After a few lines of her poem, they're even more unruly than before. The crinkling rapping has filled the air in a few points, and at a few points, Yuri is almost drowned out by the others' voices. I got a few people getting up and leaving the classroom, but at the sight of hitch in her voice, it seems that Yuri's seen them as well. Her eyes stay glued to her poem now, and it looks like she's trying her hardest to ignore everyone. At one point, quietly, Wolf whistles at Yuri, causing her to jump and lower her head even more. She's practically shaking like a leaf. There's absolutely disgusting behavior, and I open my mouth to say something. Suddenly, Natsuki stands up, a loud scraping noise from her, pushing away the desk, drawing attention of the students. Can you all just shut up? I'm really freaking sick of this. How can you guys be so rude? We're trying our best to show you something amazing here, and you're just going to stomp all over our hard work like that? Unbelievable. Can't you understand how people can be this arrogant and this is just plain terrible. I didn't want to interrupt you, Ray, but I can't stand it anymore. You idiots might as well leave if you aren't going to pretend to pay attention. There's complete silence for a beat. Wow, custom Sprite. Only came in there for the food anyway. Let's go, guys. Once this boy speaks up, he begins to lead his friends away. One by one, more students start to follow them out the door. After a panic look over to Monica, who's holding a strange, stiff expression on her face. Looks like she's just struggling to stay calm for everyone. In a few moments, there's barely anyone left. Yuri, meanwhile, slowly begins speaking again, but her voice is barely audible. There's just a stifling silence accompanying her words. When she finishes, a weak smattering of applause sounds from the few who are left. She unsteadily steps down from the stage, a blank look on her face. She won't look at any of us either. I'm worried about her. Okay. Monica's voice cracks as she speaks up. She's still trying her best to see us through this. I don't think any of us could have predicted that it would turn out this way. Ahem. Thank you. Yuri, you did wonderfully. I'm sorry for all the disruptions and the sheer arrogance you had to endure. Those kinds of people are really the worst. Those who are left, I want to thank you all for staying and apologize as well. This is definitely not a normal occurrence at the Literature Club, I assure you. Well, let's finish this off with Ryan then. With a heavy heart, I slowly get up and walk onto the stage. When I get to the podium, I'm applauded by the sight of the classroom. Getting a cup... Appalled. I just read. I said appalled, didn't it? Yeah, appalled. Canadian Company wrappers are strewn across the floor, and quote cards lay tossed around, with many of the cards now featuring shoe prints over the words. The remnants of the goodie bags left ripped apart on the desks. I wish... I know, it's a minor thing. I wish they kind of did the gift bag ripped up. But, even the kanji curtains look tangled up and messy. No students left the ones who waved to Monica at the beginning. This is what Yuri had to see when writing a poem. No wonder she didn't want to look up and face these people. Can I really do this now? How were others able to finish their poems? Look at the clock, only 10:20. Has it really only been 20 minutes? Taking a shaky breath, I begin to speak. Hi everyone. I can take a second to apologize as well, both to those checking the club today and those who are already in it. Despite everything that's happened, I can say I'm glad I joined since I got to meet so many amazing people. I believe that you guys will love it as much as I did too. Anyhow, I hope you all enjoy Acquainted with the Night. That sounds like something I'd write. And or read. I start reading and I am struck once again by the beauty of the poem. The loneliness and isolation conveyed so accurately, I can relate to a lot of these feelings. I won't be as good as the others reciting, but I can only hope that I'll be able to do the poem justice. The thought of doing both the poet and the club proud by strengthened my spirit, and I managed to fight through the depressing mood. The quiet of the classroom suits the lines of the poem well, and my recital seems to fly by rather quickly. Excellent performance. What a great way to round off the event. As I step down from the stage, Monica stands up and addresses the room. Thank you all for coming and staying. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. That's for the scheduled recitations, but you guys are free to stay and hang out if you want. There's an awkward silence from Eunice, then the remaining students have to stand up. Shiori! Hey Monica. I know you too, Ryan. I didn't know you were in this club. The girl standing before us is actually my homeroom's class representative, Shiori. I like the sprite. It is very cute. Given that both she and Monica are class reps, they're probably friends. I only joined about a week ago, so... Ah, I see. Yep. Hey, the way you guys were treated was seriously awful. It's fine. Thanks for staying. Either way, sorry about everything, Monica. Check out the club sometime. She gives a small commissionary smile. I'm torn between wondering whether everyone's pitying us or sympathizing with us. They all start to file out of the classroom after a few more goodbyes. Monica keeps a strange smile plastered on her face. Meanwhile, Yuri has her head buried in her arms on her desk. In contrast, Suzuki is staring straight ahead, gritting her teeth, and Sierra looks down at her desk, picking at a spot on the varnished wood. There we go. That's the kind of thing I was looking for. My God. I want to just talk about the detail. Look at some of this. You have all like the paper and the wrappers and all this. I love this. This is well done. Today's tension in the year will be a massive understatement. Oh, alright, almost at an hour. There's a silence in the room, made worse by a sense of awkwardness. No one knows what to say. No expected festival to end this way, and the impact is hitting us all. I want to see, did I get the festival ... song? I haven't yet. Interesting. Thing is, I don't think all of these are going to pop up. Obviously, we do have I have Halloween active, so we're probably gonna get those as well. That could have gone better. My attempt at humor falls flat, and I immediately regret speaking. Sue gives me a dirty look, but Siri smiles wanly. Meanwhile, it looks Monica's face has finally fallen. I don't understand. Where did we go wrong, guys? We spent so long preparing for this, and after all our efforts, for the first time, that outgoing confidence Monica always seemed to radiate has snuffed out. She clearly cared a lot about this event, and I feel awful for her. I don't know. I don't get it either. I thought you guys all did such a good job as well. The decorations, the recitals. I'm sorry, Monica. Don't worry about it. It's not like it's your fault anyway. She smiles weakly at me, glancing around. I notice that Yuri and Suki seem particularly upset, with Yuri looking absolutely dejected and Natsuki steaming mad. This is your fault, Monica. I told you this is a stupid idea. None of us were even that comfortable with doing it in the first place. Now look where it's landed us. I need to see, is this the festival ... song? Because I figure, I want to see if it gets sad. No, argumentative. I'll agree to do this. Pardon me for thinking it would actually go well. What's so wrong about that? We only agreed to do it because it felt like you were forcing us. I was really hoping this wouldn't happen. Everyone's low moods and arguments is the last thing we need. I didn't force anyone, Natsuki. You know how much this club means to me. I was just excited to show what we have to the rest of the school. Yeah, because that was such a good idea, wasn't it? I'm really starting to get sick of your constant sarcasm, you know? Why can't you just try being positive for once in your life? Gee, it's funny you should say that, because I'm really starting to get sick of your self-righteousness. Self-righteous, know-it-all attitude. We told you this would be a bad idea, but no. You just had to insist on this, even though no one was happy with it. It was for a reason. Look how much Ryan enjoys it here. Is it really so unreasonable to think that we could have found someone else like him? Or is it just too positive for you to even fathom? This is awful. The other students were bad enough, but now Monica and Natsuki are going for each other's throats? Look at how badly everyone was humiliated. How inconsiderate all of those... She shook us for a moment, her anger inhibiting her ability to speak. Those assholes were. To all of us. They didn't give a damn about anything we had to say. What did that one prick say? He was only here for the food? All of that hard work just for what? Nothing. She angrily kicks one of the desks. A loud noise jolts Yuri, who looks up with tears in her eyes. Please, Natsuki, can you calm down? Don't tell me you're taking her aside, Yuri. You had to experience the worst of it. I don't get why you're not mad either. Natsuki, there's no point of being angry at Monica. She didn't want this to happen. She had no idea people react this way. It's bad enough that the students were rude, and I really don't like fighting inside the club itself. Yeah, but if Monica just listened to us when we said we weren't comfortable with the whole idea, this would have never happened. Monica sighs. This is the kind of conflict she generally leaves for Sayori to deal with. But in this case, Sayori looks too distraught to intervene. Look, what you're not understanding is that sometimes you just have to take risks. Sure, this didn't go well. There was always a chance it wouldn't have ended like this. And we could have had new members. She turns to me. I mean, you of all people can understand that the best, right, Ryan? You made the choice to come here. Look how much you enjoy it. Oh, don't you try and suck up to him, Monica. Face it, you never listen to us. You're club members. Or take our opinions into account. Tell me I'm not alone in thinking that, Ryan. Oh, great. Now I have to come to choose a side. I really don't want to do this. I desperately look at Yuri and Sayori, but both look too upset to want to get involved. Fuck. I would be that person leaving on a cliffhanger. God, this is actually an interesting choice. Because, on one hand... on one hand, right? Monica has a point. It could have ended better than it did. It could have been very... It could have been good. We could have gotten new members. We could have had more people to be around. Stuff like that. But on the same token, with Natsuki's argument, everyone was very uncomfortable. So do I blame Natsuki for being mad? No. Honestly, my favorite some of my favorite characters are Monica and Yuri. But I'm going to side with Natsuki. No one was comfortable in this situation. The risk, it was such a thing. I'm thinking of similar to a situation I had in Phasmophobia. You could go back and try and get... We basically were, just to sort of summarize the event, we could have gone back to get more evidence to find out what kind of ghost we had, but the risk was too great of losing items. For this situation, the way I'm applying it is, yeah, none of us were comfortable with the festival, and obviously we didn't fear the worst, but we figured it was all going to go well. But because we had such high expectations, our expectations were kind of just shot down. And I'm going to side by Natsuki. I really hate taking sides like this. I do as well. Monika's the president, though, so I hope she won't take this personally. Monika, believe me when I say I know this club means a lot to you. I've only been here a few days, and I can already see that. In fact, it means a lot to all of us. Every one of us cares so much for the club that we were able to soldier on and keep performing despite all the crap we got. But at the same time, perhaps Natsuki has a point. You were clearly the most enthusiastic about this festival out of everyone here. She sighed, and it's clear she's frustrated. It wouldn't surprise me if she was disappointed in us either. But pardon me for wanting the club to do well. Why was everyone so against it? I didn't even force any of you. You all agreed of your own accords. I thought you used the weekend to practice. That should have been plenty of time. The way you pushed us into it felt like we didn't have a choice. You guys didn't have to agree. Do you not know how to stand up for yourselves? Monika, you know how it is. It's hard enough as it is to go against your friends. But when your friend has such high expectations for everything on top of that, it's just easy to get swept in trying to keep everyone happy. On top of that, not everyone here is as outspoken as you. Exactly. That's not the point anyhow. You all did fine in your first recitations during our club meeting. Everything should have gone well. So we never could have expected the people would act this way. If the event had been a success, you can bet this conversation won't be happening right now. If we never decided to do anything for the festival, then we wouldn't have to worry about this crap anyway. But we had to do something for the festival. Do you want the club to remain stagnant forever? Is this place supposed to be some hangout for 5 people? The fierce glint in those green eyes now. I'm almost afraid of speaking up. Seems like I'm the only one here who actually wants this club to do well. The only one who strives for greater heights. And how is anyone ever going to see how amazing what we've built if we never show it to anyone? What's wrong with the club being small? I'd rather have a few people who really care than a ton of idiots who are only here because of your popularity. Quality is more important than quantity, after all. I'm sure others agree with that from as well. Suddenly, Monika turns to face me. I won't lie, it's scary having see the full force and normality, cool-headed and diplomatic leader's temper. Ryan, with all due respect, you haven't even been here for a week. How would you, of all people, know what the other members want? Monika, Ryan only means well. Suri looks like she's about to say more, but one withering look from Monika stops her in her tracks. And I'm sure many villains throughout history only meant well too. Now you're just being unfair. No. You know what's really unfair? What's unfair is the fact that I'm the only one who has to pick up the slack. I'm the one who has to take on the blame for all the mistakes. Do you think it's easy having to live up to everyone's expectations? Although I guess it's too much for you to understand, Natsuki. After all, you always heap the blame onto others to criticize everyone but yourself. But why don't you go do some introspection for once in your life? Then you might be able to see why you barely have any friends. There's silence for a moment. A silence that lengthens into impossibly long minutes. I look towards Yuri and Sayori for help, but both look understandably shocked by Monika's words. Natsuki's face has grown red. It looks like she's about to tear up, despite her best attempts at keeping a hostile look. Monika, on the other hand, has turned away so that I can't see her face. Yuri and Sayori exchange a series of looks and expressions as the silence stretches out. There's a veritable game of eyebrow charades going on between the three of us. None of us know what to say or how to break the silence, but we all know someone has to. I'm relieved that I have 2 of them to rely on here, though. They had to experience this after that was the festival, too. And yet they're still fighting through their own emotions to try and keep the club together. The only sounds right now are the small sniffling noises coming from Natsuki. The longer the silence stretches, the harder it is to going to break it. So one of the 3 of us manage to soundlessly decide that it should be me to speak up. But before I can do so, we're surprised by Monika finally interrupting the silence with a sigh. I shouldn't have said that. I was thinking back on what I said, and well, if someone had said those things about me, I'd be upset to say the least. Pressure just finally broke me, I guess. I really do have tons of things going on in my life. That doesn't excuse my actions. I shouldn't assume things about your lives when I have no idea what struggles you're going through either. I don't expect you to forgive me anytime soon. But just know that I'm sorry. I still turned away, but Sayori shoots me a hopeful look. I think it's safe to say that words were said that no one really intended. Tensions were obviously running high after the disaster was the festival turned out to be. And I guess everything just boiled over in the argument. I agree, and it has to just goes to show how much we all care about the club and each other. If you didn't care, we wouldn't be feeling so horrible. Monica, you're really good at organizing these kinds of things, and I could see really wanted to see the way you did. It's only normal. We have to remember that we all chose to come here for a reason. That's because you enjoy it here. We really do care. I'm sorry if it seems like we're blaming you for everything going wrong, because it's definitely no one's fault. Monica starts to slowly turn back to face us. We have to admit that you were kind of harsh to Nitsuki. She stops moving and calls Sayori to speed on through her speech. Anyway, I'm so glad you apologized to Nitsuki in the end, because we're all friends here. We all need to stick together. We shouldn't be fighting when we hit obstacles, we should be supporting each other. So I hope that you can find it in your heart to forgive her, Nitsuki, even though she said some really mean things to you. And hopefully we can move on from this to become closer than ever. I couldn't have said it better myself. Yes, I believe the best thing we could do right now is to try and forgive each other and learn from this experience. Monica faces us now, looking each of us in the eye. Nitsuki misses her gaze, still looking down at the ground with tears-streaked cheeks. You guys, thank you all for being the best club members I could wish for. When I've thought about it, it really is me who's in the wrong here. I should have just accepted that you guys weren't as quite into the festival idea as I was. It was wrong of me to push you into something you weren't comfortable with. Well, that's all said and done now, so no use crying over spilled milk, right? No, a good president wouldn't have pressured their people into doing this. Looking back, how could I have been so selfish and blind? Everybody has a momentary lapses of judgment, and you shouldn't blame yourself for that. I'm with Yuri on that. After all, you made this lovely club for all of us, and we all really owe it to you for that. And Natsuki, I'm truly sorry for what I said. I was just jumping to conclusion and making false assumptions. Plus, we're all your friends. But I wouldn't blame you if you didn't want to call me a friend anymore. We all wait with bated breath for Natsuki's answer. I exchanged nervous glances with Yuri and Sayori, the latter of two, looking like she's holding her breath. Suki quickly wiped the tears from her face with her sleeves. She looks smaller than ever and so alone. Makes me want to protect her more than ever. Whatever. It's fine. The only thing I ask... She looks down at the floor, then to her right, and then at the ceiling. Says she's hoping for the right words to appear in front of her. The only thing that I want for us is to stop fighting. I come to this club to get away from all the junk, and I don't want things to be ruined. Hopefully you can't hear the truck outside in this tense moment. Very emotional moment. I come to this club to get away from all that junk, and I don't want things to be ruined. So yeah, if it'll make things go back to normal, I'll forgive you. Sayori gives a little hop in excitement when Nitsuki says that, and I can't help but sigh in relief as well. Monica smiles gently and Nitsuki finally meets her eyes. Thanks for putting the club above your own feelings, Nitsuki. Yeah, I don't think I'm wrong in saying that we all appreciate it. You guys should hug it out. I get that it must take a lot to say that, so I'm truly grateful for that. Monica reaches out to hug Nitsuki, but the smaller girl flinches away. I'm sorry, I should have known that it'd be too soon. No. Oh, it's fine. Suki made an attempt at smiling at Monica. It may take some time for reconciliation to be finished with, but I'm happy that everyone is trying their best. Yeah, reconsideration can take a long time. No, that's not quite right. Well, close enough. And with that, the spell holding us all in place seems to have been broken. And have you staying out to check the rest of the festival? No, I'm feeling quite exhausted after all the emotional stress we just had to endure. Me too. All I want to do is, right now, is take a long nap. Same here, honestly. We still have to clean up the classroom, though. We all grimly turn to face the mess the visitor left behind. We're not looking forward to cleaning that up. Aw, do we have to? Sir, you don't want to betray our club advisor's trust now, do you? Oh, why are you always right, Yuri? Everyone chuckles a bit, even Natsuki betraying a smile on her face. I'm sure that's less work than it looks. Do I think that's fine if some of us leave early? Hey Ryan, how about you walk Natsuki home for a change? Seriously, Yuri's sick of your company by now. So you Monica to let Natsuki off the hook like that. In such a casual way, too. This way, it doesn't look like she's babying her or anything. Hey, you know what's fair? I want to go home, too. Sierra begins to pout for a bit, but she regains a smile on her face. Come on, guys. The faster we get to work, the faster we'll get to go home. Their exchanges goodbye. I walk out of the class with Natsuki. She really hears the sounds of chatter and laughter floating towards us and the rest of the festival after everything that just took place. Silence falls between us. I'm not sure whether I should try to cheer her up or just leave her alone with her thoughts. About a vending machine at the end of the hall inside, decided on the former. Hey, do you want a snack? A little sugar always cheers me up when I feel down. Eh? Sure, I guess. What do you want? Doesn't really matter, but chocolate's pretty good. I approach the vending machine, digging change in my pockets. In a few moments, a solid thunk from the bottom of the machine. I handed her a bar of chocolate. I just picked one of my favorites, so I hope we have similar tastes. White chocolate. Not bad. That means she likes it? Watch, she carefully places the snack into her bag. You're not going to eat it? My question seems to startle in the circle, and I feel a little bad when she jumps a bit. I guess she's still feeling a little shaky. Eh? No? I kind of like to savor things on my own time. Not a bad idea. I tend to blow through snacks and stuff myself. I guess I like to try to make things last as long as possible. That's pretty understandable. Then the silence falls over. This time it's a comfortable silence. We're off together side by side in a bubble of companionship. It seems to include just the two of us in the mix, the festival of distant reality. Is it totally ridiculous that I break the silence again? Which way are you headed? I'm going that way. I point to my left, causing Suga to give me a wry smile. I'm in the opposite direction. Oh well. Guess I'll see you tomorrow then. Ryan? Eh? It's okay if I keep coming to the club, right? Huh? What do you mean? Of course you can. I mean, we're all going to be expecting you back there. Never mind. See ya. At that, she whirls around and darts away, leaving behind nothing but confusion in the air. Well, I guess I'll ask her about it tomorrow, but for now, it's time to make the trek home. Although now that I think about it, there's nothing for me back home except anime and video games. I'll always spend the night stewing over that question then. Well, that's a weird note to live on, to leave off on. Oh my god! Morning already? I groan as I fumble for the alarm clock. Okay, well, before I got startled by an actual alarm clock going off, that's a note. That's the note I'm gonna leave off on today. Holy shit. Wow. To say that this mod really is kind of like a almost DLC is an understatement. It feels very much like a DLC. Like, it feels like if I didn't know this was a mod, I would think this would be a DLC from Dan and Team Salvato. But it's not. But either way, that just goes to show you how much this mod is really making me feel. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Doki Doki Blue Skies. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like. If you want to see more from me, be sure to subscribe. Click the bell so you don't miss any videos. And, yeah. Follow me on social media in the description below, and I will see you guys next video or live stream whatever I decide to make. Have a good day, everybody.
The wolf remains one of his most feared animals.